We're very lucky today to have Carmen Krogh with us here at the first Falmouth Conference on Human Rights. Carmen's been doing work for years in Ontario, Canada, on just this issue. Welcome, Carmen.
Thank you very much.
When I first started looking into this subject, one of the most powerful documents I was able to read and find were the results of the Wind Voice survey. And I wonder if you could speak to the acknowledgement of the symptoms of the experiences of people in Ontario, Canada, and how that process came about.
Yes, we started Wind Voice in Ontario because there wasn't a database capturing the vigilance monitoring requirements that this subject needs. And this was to document the symptoms that were occurring with people, the reports of their symptoms and so forth. It's a snapshot in time. Wind Voice is now peer-reviewed and published. It has been cited in British Medical Journal. Brown County Health Unit has cited it. And recently, Dr. Nissenbaum's study, the control study that he conducted in 2 sites here in the States, it's been cited in there.
I know it made a great deal of difference to me in my research as someone beginning the topic who didn't really understand what symptoms were occurring. And I wonder if you would mind sort of reminding us of what those symptoms are that you have run into in your work, that you have had, that people have told you that they've experienced from living close to wind turbines.
Probably the top health symptom is sleep disturbance, which, if it's chronic and long-term exposure, can lead to serious medical conditions. Quality of life was another big issue. That was number 2 topic, where the quality of lifestyle was interfered with. Other types of symptoms were a lot of headaches. We saw about 1/3 of the survey respondents reporting cardiac issues, and many of these were being investigated by physicians. Cognitive disorder, mood disorders were very high as well, and hearing relationships, vertigo, nausea, those symptoms were also reported. I have a published, peer-reviewed article on social justice, and that came out of the work I was doing internationally. Probably the first step here is that I believed the people when they were reporting these things. I had no doubt. And it is wearing and sad because there doesn't seem to be resolution that is possible once the turbines are operating. My opinion, we've gone very quickly with these units to install them within quiet rural areas, and we didn't know what were the distances, the safe distances and noise levels. So once they're in, it's very difficult to get mitigation and resolution. So on an international level, this is happening everywhere, and the descriptions of the symptoms and the issues are the same no matter what language.
That was something that struck me very early on when I reached out into international accounts in Australia and the UK, is the similarity and I also believed the people.
Yes, and that was probably the first step, is to have the acknowledgement that the symptoms are real, because until that occurs at our official and authoritative levels and the decision makers, among the decision makers, it's hard to move on to resolve. You need the acknowledgement first that there are issues, and not everybody gets ill, and some people take a long time. Some of us feel that it's a chronic exposure issue, and some are affected right away. So it's a very complex area right now of research that's needed.
Well, I know that you're going to speak shortly,
yes.
So I'm going to bring this interview to a close, but I want to just take a moment to say thank you for your work. Thank you for standing up on the behalf of others.